You have been breathing wrong your entire life, not because anyone taught you badly or because you were careless, but because somewhere between childhood and adulthood, you made a switch so subtle, so gradual, that nobody noticed. Not your parents, not your doctors, not even you. You started breathing through your mouth, and that single change has been quietly dismantling your health ever since. I know that sounds dramatic, so let me show you the biology. In 1998, 3 scientists won the Nobel Prize in Medicine for discovering what a single molecule does. Inside your body, a molecule so powerful, so fundamental to health, that its absence accelerates aging, raises blood pressure, weakens immunity, and leaves your tissues starving for oxygen. That molecule is nitric oxide, and here's what nobody told you. Your body produces it almost exclusively in one place. Your nose, specifically in the paranasal sinuses, the hollow cavities surrounding your nasal passages. These sinuses are nitric oxide factories producing it constantly. But there's a condition. The nitric oxide only enters your body if air passes through your nose. The moment you open your mouth to breathe, you bypass the entire system. You inhale air that hasn't been filtered, humidified, or pressurized correctly, and you receive almost zero nitric oxide. You breathe in, and the pharmacy stays locked. In 2002, researchers at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden measured what happens when breathing patterns change. The results were not subtle. Nasal breathing produced 15 to 25 times more nitric oxide than mouth breathing, not percent times. Think about what that means if you breathe through your mouth while you sleep. For 8 hours every night, your body produces almost no nitric oxide. Now multiply that by years, by decades, and then ask yourself why so many people wake up exhausted despite a full night's sleep. Why blood pressure quietly rises with age. Why the mind feels foggy in the morning. This isn't a mystery. It's a missing molecule. So what does nitric oxide actually do? First, it's the most powerful vasodilator your body produces. It relaxes and widens your blood vessels, so blood flows more easily, oxygen reaches your tissues, and your heart works less hard. Blood pressure drops naturally. Second, it has direct antimicrobial properties. High concentrations in your nasal passages kill viruses and bacteria on contact before they can get into your lungs. Your nose isn't just a filter, it's a chemical defense system. Mouth breathing removes that defense entirely. Third, it regulates how efficiently your red blood cells transfer oxygen. Breathing more air doesn't mean getting more oxygen to your tissues. What matters is how well hemoglobin releases that oxygen at the cellular level. Nitric oxide directly improves that process. And fourth, it plays a critical role in brain function, acting as a neurotransmitter. Low nitric oxide is linked to cognitive fog, reduced focus, and impaired memory. That morning brain fog millions of people accept as normal is often a nitric oxide deficit caused by 8 hours of mouth breathing. Now, here is something the wellness industry often ignores because it can be sold in a bottle. The most effective way to increase your nitric oxide costs nothing. No supplements, no equipment, no subscription. You simply close your mouth. That's the intervention. Consistent, habitual nasal breathing is one of the most evidence-backed health practices in modern respiratory science. And almost nobody talks about it because there's no product to attach to it. Patrick McEwen, a leading authority on breathing dysfunction, has documented the consequences of habitual mouth breathing. The list is long: sleep apnea, chronic fatigue, anxiety, dental issues, reduced athletic performance, and accelerated biological aging, all connected and all partially reversible when the breathing pattern changes. But here is the urgent part. Most people who breathe through their mouths do know they're doing it, especially at night. You fall asleep, your jaw relaxes, your mouth falls open, and for the next 8 hours, your nitric oxide system sits completely idle. You wake up, feel tired, drink coffee, and repeat the cycle, never connecting the exhaustion to your open mouth. Let's compare a single night of nasal breathing versus mouth breathing. When you breathe nasally, nitric oxide is released continuously. Your blood vessels stay relaxed, blood pressure stays low, and oxygen delivery is efficient. Your immune system is supported, and your brain receives clean, properly oxygenated blood. Cellular repair happens correctly. You wake up actually recovered. Now, the same night, but mouth breathing, the nitric oxide goes nowhere. Your blood vessels don't get that relaxation signal, and blood pressure subtly rises. Oxygen transfer drops. Your immune system loses its first line of defense. Your brain operates in a slightly hypoxic, inflamed environment. Sleep architecture suffers, and deep sleep stages shorten. The body only half repairs itself. You wake up feeling like you barely slept. Same 8 hours, completely different biology. The only difference was whether your mouth was open or closed. Now, I want to teach you 3 things. First, how to measure if you have a nitric oxide deficit. Second, how to retrain your breathing pattern. And third, how to actively boost nitric oxide production. The first tool is the BOLT score, or body oxygen level test. Sit comfortably and breathe normally for a minute. Then, after a normal exhale, pinch your nose closed and count the seconds until you feel the first definite urge to breathe. That number is your BOLT score. Above 40 seconds is excellent. Between 20 and 40 is functional, but can be improved. Below 20 suggests significant breathing dysfunction and likely insufficient nitric oxide. The second tool is nasal breathing retraining. If you're a habitual mouth breather, switching can feel uncomfortable. Start by breathing nasally during low-intensity activities like walking or sitting. If you feel air hunger, slow down rather than opening your mouth. For sleep, which is where it matters most, consider using mouth tape. I know it sounds extreme, but surgical tape placed gently over the lips is a well-studied intervention for improving sleep. It's about building a new habit. The third tool is active nitric oxide production. We already know that humming increases nasal nitric oxide by 15 to 20 times. The vibration pumps it out of your sinuses. To maximize this, try this for 3 to 5 minutes. Sit upright, close your mouth, and breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose. Then, exhale through your nose while humming a steady, medium-pitched hum that you can feel vibrating in your sinuses. This combines nasal breathing with the pumping action of humming. The effect is rapid. Blood pressure can drop within minutes, blood flow increases, and mental clarity sharpens. Doing this before sleep can support deeper, more restorative rest. This isn't a wellness ritual, it's applied respiratory physiology. Let's talk about the long game. In the first week of consistent nasal breathing, you'll likely notice your nose feels clearer and you sleep more deeply. By the second and third week, morning energy improves as brain fog lifts. This is your brain finally getting properly oxygenated blood all night long. By the end of the first month, your BOLT score will likely improve, reflecting real changes in your body's efficiency. At 3 months, the changes become automatic. Nasal breathing becomes your default, even under stress. Inflammatory markers trend down, and blood pressure may begin to normalize. I want to close with something that has stayed with me. You have a pharmacy built into your face. It operates 24/7, producing the Nobel Prize-winning molecule that your entire body depends on. It costs nothing to use, requires no prescription, and has no side effects. The only requirement is that air passes through your nose, and yet, most of us spend a huge portion of our lives bypassing it completely, then wonder why our energy declines and healing slows. The breath is not passive, it's a signal. The signal you send every minute determines how your biology responds. Close your mouth tonight before you sleep. Breathe through your nose. Let your sinuses do what they were designed to do. Maybe try 5 minutes of humming before bed to prime the system. Give your body the molecule it's been waiting for. Thanks for watching.